How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Fuzzy Lego, and today I'm going to be showing you my custom Lego minifigures for Star Wars The Last Jedi. So I have 10 brand new minifigures to show you, and they are Rey in her new Star Wars The Last Jedi outfit, Finn, Rose Tico, Luke Skywalker, Poe Dameron, R2-D2, Kylo Ren, Supreme Leader Snoke, General Hux, and BB-8. And, well, why is this a week late? Because the film came out a week ago. Well, basically, I was waiting for my parts to arrive, but they didn't arrive in time for the film to come out, and so I waited a week, and that was it, to see if they would arrive, and they still wouldn't come in, and they said an estimate of, like, another maybe 2 weeks, and so I don't want my parts to come in that, late, and my video would come out that late, so I'm splitting this up into 2 parts. This first part is a bunch of minifigures I have got finished, or at least have made a few alterations to get them to the way they are, and in part 2, you will see characters like General Leia and Captain Phasma, along with a bunch of other updates for these minifigures, so that's going to be super exciting. So, I'm actually going to see my second showing later today, and that's super exciting, so I can't wait. So, Last Jedi, let's go! First up is Rey in the Star Wars The Last Jedi outfit, and just like The Force Awakens, this is very similar to what we saw in that film where she has all these robes, but this time the base of it is in a really dark gray, and then the actual robe parts are in a dark gray. And that was a lot of fun to paint, because I actually missed out on making a Rey for The Force Awakens, so I finally got to make one, and it was awesome, and a lot of fun, more fun than I expected it to be, and it was really great. I'm really happy with the way this minifigure turned out. I think it looks really cool, especially with the 3D belts, and I'm going to tell you what I did. So, this entire minifigure is constantly hand-painted by me, 100%, except for the face and the hair, because these are both perfect pieces, and I think they look just like Daisy Ridley, and so I decided to keep them, because, you know, why would you change it, because this is perfect. And everything else is painted, as well as a custom Skywalker family lightsaber, which I'm going to be changing in my second part, but for now I made this cool little lightsaber, which I'm going to go ahead and show you right now. I painted, I sculpted on the top of it, and then I painted a few lines on it, and then I painted onto the bottom as well, which turned out pretty cool. And then, of course, like I said before, you're going to see an updated version of this in part 2, but for now, I have this minifigure. I'm actually going to remove it out of her hand. I shouldn't have put it back in. But, yeah, the robes are, well, at least these down here are three-dimensional, and I think, actually, I would show you how it's done, but I don't want to remove this because the belt is also three-dimensional. It actually goes underneath it, then you can actually see the buckle and the holster that she has there, and it goes all the way around to the back where it connects, and it cannot be removed, and if I would, then this belt would break, and I don't want that happening. So I have the back there painted in the dark gray, the same as the torso part, and then the light gray on the bottom of her shorts, and those look pretty cool. The back is also painted, and there's the back of the head if you haven't seen that before, which I think we've all seen it, as well as the new hairpiece. So that looks pretty cool. Got the gauntlets painted on there, and those look really awesome, and yeah, I'm really happy with the way this Rey turned out. Next up is Luke Skywalker, and just like Rey, I'm super happy with the way this minifigure turned out, but before I go any further, I want to give huge shout-outs to another YouTuber customizer. His name is BrickBuilderWatts. He heavily inspired me with his own Luke Skywalker figure, and I highly suggest you go check him out. His links in the Instagram and Flickrs and YouTubes and everything will be in the description below, so I highly suggest in words, because I need to go find a dictionary because I'm not the best. But anyway, what I did for this minifigure is I painted on my own head, similar, that also came off, so let's see if I can get the rest of it off. Maybe not right now, but you know, you get the point. And then I painted on my own wrinkles and eyebrows and beard, and that looks pretty cool. And I used the Anakin Skywalker hairpiece, washed in a grayish, brownish, strangish kind of color, and that looked pretty cool. And actually, you can see the bottom down there is just three-dimensional down there, like the skirt piece, and then the belt is also three-dimensional, with the actual buckle being in there, looking pretty awesome, and three-dimensional as well with that. And then there's actually 2 different robes, so I get the stick out of his hand, which I just used an actual Lego rod piece, and I cut it up and then painted it in a brown color. But you can see there's 2 different parts. Oh man, that's not good. I just got a low battery thing on my camera, but that's fine. I guess we can see if I can speed it up. But there is 2 different robes, one here, and then they actually go in. That's BrickBuilderWatts' idea, I think, and they look pretty cool, and looks really nice. I also have his silver hand painted on there, which was his metal hand, which I don't know if I was going to be planning on doing, but I did it anyway, and it looks pretty nice. And I also have the buckle for the poncho, which I'll show you in a second, by the way. But on the shoes in here, I'll actually show you that. Actually, no, I can't, because my hand's in the way. But I have those lines painted in there, and they look pretty nice. They go all the way around, and into the back as well. And they just wrap back around to the other side of the leg, and that looks pretty cool. And before I move on to any other figures, I'm going to go ahead and show you the poncho that I made for him. if I can get it out. I'll leave a link to the video that I saw that helped me with the cape design. I forgot who actually made it, but someone posted a tutorial on how to make custom Lego capes, and this is really looking nice. And then there's also the back of the minifigure, which is nothing there besides the actual poncho piece, or the robe piece. And I'm going to see if I can... oh yeah, there's the scarf, which is hiding underneath the poncho. So it looks pretty nice. Let's see if I can put Luke's all back together. And we'll move on to some other minifigures. Next up is Kylo Ren, and this minifigure turned out looking pretty nice, honestly. I'm really happy with the way that this minifigure turned out, and I'm really excited to finally show it to you. And I guess before I go any further, the entire thing is hand-painted by me, except for the legs, which I'll show you in a second what that all looks like. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I did first, starting with the lightsaber, I guess. So, the lightsaber, what did it start off as? I had a piece up here somewhere. It started off as one of these pieces, and then I sanded down the crap out of the top of it, and then I cut off a lightsaber blade, or the lightsaber hilt piece, stuck it on the top with some glue, and just held it in place to make it look like Kylo Ren's cross blade silver, and this looks a lot cleaner than my last one, which was a pretty poor paint job, and I'm really happy that I got to redo it. And I even sculpted onto the bottom to paint the ignition button, so that looks pretty cool. Put the lightsaber back in his hand for now, which was pretty awesome. And then starting with the head, I guess, the head is completely painted by me. I decided I was going to try and capture my own likeness to Adam Driver, and I think that I succeeded a bit. I don't know, I honestly really like it. But anyway, I used the normal hairpiece like everyone uses for Kylo Ren because it's perfect for him. So I just put that on there, and that looks pretty nice. The torso is hand-painted by me, which I'll remove the lightsaber so I can show you. It should start off as a black torso that I painted over my own matte color, and then all those lines are just a gray line, and a gray line, gray line, gray line, gray line, all the way down, and it's even on the back of the minifigure as well, with the belt continuing down there as well. This belt is three-dimensional, it's a bit of painter's tape, and then the bit right there, that's right there, that's the, what is that? That's clay. Why am I so silly? And then I painted some gunmetal gray on there, and then painted my own little buckle detail, and that looks pretty awesome. Kind of hard to see because it is such a small little thing, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that looks pretty awesome. And the cape was a normal Lego cape that I just cut it up to make it look tattered because I didn't like just the normal cape. I think that it should have been a little bit better. And yeah, the last thing I do before I move on to the other figures is show you the waist cape, which is custom by me. So I'll show you how that's made. If you just pull off the minifigure here and remove this is what it looks like underneath, just paper that I made, and it looks pretty nice. And then you can see the under part of it, which is just the Emperor's leg from, I believe, the Death Star Final Duel set in 2015, so that's where that came from. And then you put it on, and yeah, that's it for Kylo Ren. Here we have Finn, and well, for whatever reason, this minifigure, like I said, for no reason, this was the hardest minifigure to make, and just because that jacket would never want to cooperate, this is the 5th jacket that I made for Finn that I decided was good enough, but just the brown color, and it was just not cooperating. It was sometimes chunky, it was clunky, it would never work out, and I would just get so frustrated when I would like mess up a jacket, and it was just, it was so terrible. But I got a jacket on here nonetheless, and I think it still looks pretty cool. I even painted on the little design on the arms there, one here and one there, and I even, there's the back of the torso as well with the huge scar there, and here that he got from Kylo Ren in the end of The Force Awakens. So, and if I remove, or don't remove, but I show you the torso that I painted, that's basically the design that I saw on the Black Series figure, but I just painted that in my own, because I hope it was Black Series. I used some kind of series, but I don't really know. But I did paint my own little gun too, and it looks pretty nice, which I'll show you in a bit. And the legs are dark blue. Probably not the most accurate color, but they had this little design on there, down there on this leg. There's like a little pocket design. I think that looks really cool. So I made that in my own minifigure. And oops. Why do I hear creepy music? Sorry about that. I dropped my camera because I'm an idiot, but whatever. We're all good. And I even painted onto the back of the insides of the legs, so that's pretty awesome. There's a little design right there that goes to the back and everything. You can't see it because my ginormous hand is in the way of my light, so that's pretty awesome. But besides that, I did use the Finn head and the hair from the 2015 sets. Huge shout out to my friends Sam and Austin for allowing me to cooperate to make this, or not to make it, but to grab this hairpiece. So they're pretty awesome. They don't have YouTubes besides my friend Sam, so his YouTube will be in the description below, so go check him out. Even if there's no content on there, it's fine. Go subscribe to him because he's my content. So besides that, there's also the other head for Finn. And never mind, there is, but you know, it's stuck. So whatever, that's Finn from Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Next up is Poe Dameron, and I'm sure that this minifigure might spark a bit of controversy among people, because why did I decide to make him in his pilot outfit that he doesn't really wear for a whole majority of the film? Well, that's because if I were to make him in his captain outfit, which I did, if I were to show him like that, he would have a weird-looking hairpiece because I didn't have the one that I needed to make him look like Oscar Isaac, so it would have looked really strange, and I decided, you know, I'll just hold off and I'll make him in his pilot outfit, and that's what I did, so it looks pretty awesome. Before I move on again, I painted on my own custom likeness. Started off as a normal head, but then I just painted in my own little set of eyes and mouth. The stubble is there and the eyes are the same, but I just painted on the eyebrows and the mouth, like I said. And the helmet is where all of the work went into, but I'll show you that whenever I get there. But yeah, the torso was left untouched besides the little black dot that I saw on the figure, which I think looked accurate. You know, it is accurate. And then the back of it is there's no work here actually to the back of the torso because it's all really good. But the legs is where another bulk of the majority came in. I repainted the entire like light gray stripe that goes all the way around it, and even to the back. That was what I did. And I also painted on this black like line down here that goes all the way to the round of the legs. And in there, I think it goes to the inside or not. I may have forgot to paint it, but no, it actually does. It goes into the inside of the legs too, which I think looks pretty awesome. I don't normally do that, but when I do that, it looks really awesome. So pretty cool. And the sides of the legs, there's some bits of silver, which I actually were used from cut up safety pins that I glued on there and then painted over to make it look like they were bullets there, and I think that looks pretty cool. I got the buckle on this side of the legs. There's the little gray buckle, and I think it goes to the inside as well. Ta-da! There it is. And that goes all the way around to the back, as you can see there. Just a little buckle there, and that's pretty much it. I also repainted the little black tube that runs from here all the way to the pocket, so I did that as well. Paint on the cuffs to the hands, and also this brown stripe. So the helmet, what is this? So this was a normal minifigure helmet, or the helmet basically, but I repainted the entire thing, so everything on this helmet that you see is actually hand painted by me, and that was pretty fun. So I'll just show you all this detail if I can get the minifigure to stand straight. All that detail was all painted by me. Every single red and black and gray bit that you see was all painted by me. Yada yada yada. It looks pretty awesome. Some bits could be a bit cleaner than others. And then here's the top of the helmet as well. Looking pretty nice. This gray stripe was actually supposed to run all the way down to the bottom, but I don't really have any room for that anymore. So I just left it on not there, I guess. So that's really much it for Poe Dameron. In the next part, you'll see him in his captain outfit. Next up is the newcomer to Star Wars, Roast Tico, played by Kylo Ren. Now, this was probably my favorite figure of the new characters that was introduced. Like this character, then like DJ, and like all the other characters that were introduced for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. This was probably my favorite. I'm really happy with the way this turned out, and it's really, really awesome. And I'll tell you what I did for this minifigure also. So I started off with the official LEGO minifigure, and yes, the brown is a bit, like, it's not the most accurate color, it's more of a yellowish brown, but that's okay, it still looks great, and I decided I was just going to use this torso anyway, besides painting my own one, because there's so much detail in there, and it looks really, really awesome, and I didn't want to lose any of that. So the belt, mainly the belt is three-dimensional, and also those bits of silver, like those bullet holes, that's the same thing that I used for, like, Poe Dameron, those little bullet pieces down there, or the bits of silver, that's the exact same there. And also there's the back of it, just more painter's tape that I painted up, and it looks pretty nice on the back of it as well. I did the same thing to the arms, those little silver bits there, that's also bits of silver, just like Poe Dameron, and that's where that came from. I also painted the wrists of this figure in a brown. I painted those up. And I painted some boots on her. They look pretty nice, and they go to the back as well. Just some plain boots. Didn't really do anything to the head. I think it looks really great, and the hairpiece as well. But I did paint that little hair ponytail in a dark blue. So that's pretty much it. She's a simple figure nonetheless, and it's pretty straightforward. So that's Rose Tico. Oh, why is it still recording? My first LEGO Custom BB-8. Wow, this is awesome! Wow! But this was a lot of fun, but also really stressful and really tedious to paint, because I was going to use the official LEGO BB-8, but it was late as it is when I decided I was going to make him anyway, and he couldn't arrive in time, so I had to sculpt the entire thing, and I did sculpt the stud on the bottom of it so that he could actually attach to LEGO. But besides that, the entire thing is sculpted by me. I put some more safety pins, the same thing that I used on these figures to make the antennas there, and those look pretty nice, painted in white, and then the tips are in black, of course. And they look pretty cool, so I'm really awesome with the way that this figure turned out. All of it's white, and then there's some black out, like the black circles, and then painted in orange. And then there's some dark gray details. There should be some specific details in these like white parts, but I decided that I was just gonna do it by hand and then just make my own design. So that's what I did. They're not accurate at all, but they still look really awesome, and that looks pretty cool. Obviously, there's lines that go all the way around this figure as well. The little gray lines that go all the way to the back as well, with all the necessary dots that were painted. My thing is about to fall over. Oh my gosh! Let me fix this real quickly. Never trust lamps. But yeah, anyway, the head is nicely painted in orange color wrapping around the entire thing, and then there's also some black details there. Lots of dots, which I would see if I can zoom in to show you what I did on this guy. Oh my gosh, now it might get a little terrible, but yeah, all that's painted by me. Is also oh look, my fingerprints. You can see all the sculpted bits, and that's actually three-dimensional. That looks pretty cool. And oh my gosh, this is a 4-minute video. Well, actually, no, it's not. I haven't been talking about this figure for 4 minutes, but anyway. Yeah, that's BB-8, the really awesome, cute new droid. I cannot seem to get this focused, so that's pretty cool. This is the 3rd version of R2-D2 that I painted, and I like to think that I'm getting better with every single one that I make, but I really can't tell. They all look the same to me. So, what I do for this R2-D2? Well, I repainted the legs entirely. These legs are completely hand-painted and brand new. And I decided it was about time that I remade them, and they look pretty nice. The gray stripe on the top of there could be a bit better, but this was made with a new gray paint, and so I had to kind of improvise and make it smooth, because it was really chalky and terrible and everything. There's those bits painted on again. It's a lot of fun. Everything's fun. The wires, they go in there, and yeah, the base down there is the same as the last one I made, with all the lines painted on there. Same as the New Hope one. Oh yeah, I also did paint these on the side, see if I can show you. I did paint those, one there, and one there. I did those again in my own dark gray instead of a dark blue. And that's really much it. I painted the entire back all over again. That was a little bit dirtier than the original, which I probably should have just kept the original. And there's a bit of paint down there, my bad. I should probably fix that in the next part. But whatever, we've already shooting, so let's continue shooting, I guess. So besides that, most of the head went in, like most of the work went into the head, because I made those little three-dimensional parts look pretty cool. Same thing that I did for BB-8, using a bit of clay and like some Lego pieces to make those bits. So I decided to do that for R2-D2 and make them a bit more three-dimensional, because I think that makes it look really cool. And that's what I did. Looks really nice. And before I move on to like the First Order and whatnot, I did make his third leg that everyone makes for R2-D2, so I did paint that up. And another detail before I move, C-3PO! I did make C-3PO, but this is the New Hope version. I did not want to include him in here because that would have been 11 minifigures, so C-3PO is over here, so he's just gonna do this. Now that we've got all the resistance taken care of, let's take a look at the First Order, and let's start off with none other than General Hux. So this is my first Lego General Hux, my own little Lego John Hill Gleason, and I think it's super adorable for some reason. I don't know, when I was making it and I made this head, I was like, oh my gosh, that is John Hill Gleason, General Hux. I think it looks just like him, and probably my most accurate painted head that I've ever made. And so this was really, really awesome, and I couldn't stop looking at it because it's so adorable. I don't know why I'm just so drawn to it, but it's so adorable, and I'm really, really happy with the way that turned out. So, the inside there is all painted by me again. This was actually the last minifigure that I finished for this minifigures. Blah 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 blah. Stop talking so fast. But the trench coat is three-dimensional, and also the flaps here are folded down so that they look pretty cool like that, with my own little painted squares and like triangle shapes there. And those look pretty awesome. There's the arms. There's nothing simple with that. Simple black gloves. And then this is like the other arm where a lot of the work went into, because that Imperial logo, we're going to zoom in on that baby. The Imperial logo, spent not hours working on that, but at least a few, several minutes, where I was just painting shapes and then like going over that in black and then painting more shapes. And then you can also see the black down there, like the gold, like the ring. I'm going to zoom out so it looks really grainy and honestly pretty terrible in quality, and I don't want you to see my minifigures in terrible quality, because they're not terrible quality. But see if I can zoom this back a bit. There we go. I want to see the stand because the stand makes it. Blah, stop. But yeah, there's the back of it. It looks really awesome, and the hairpiece choice, which was I think everyone's been using for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for General Hux. Saw a lot of them in the Force Awakens and the Last Jedi. So that's pretty awesome. So let's go do some looking at Snoke, shall we? Alright, so the last minifigure of this showcase for the Last Jedi minifigures is Supreme Leader Snoke. And this is a pretty awesome figure, I have to admit. The only thing about it that I don't really like is that he's a little bit short, but, you know, compared to like a normal minifigure, he's not the worst shape and like the worst size, and there's also like Kylo Ren. So he could be a bit taller, but that's really the only thing that's wrong about this minifigure. This turned out really cool. I really like the head that it makes. Someone is skateboarding outside my lawn, get out! But anyway, I painted on my own little head there. It looks pretty nice, and the white on the eyebrows is actually coming off, and that looks cool. I also painted onto the neck. You can see down there this gold and black on the head of the neck, or the neck of the head, or whatever I'm trying to say. I don't even know words anymore. And this entire thing here is all custom. Look at all that. It looks nice and shiny and feels good and everything. It feels really good, really soft. I didn't know that Supreme Leader Snoke had such fine clothing. Pretty cool. But besides that, the belts are three-dimensional, and I also painted on some sandals down on his legs. And yeah, Patrick legs, too. So that's, I cannot destroy Patrick legs. They're perfect. So I'm keeping those. And then the sandals painted on down there as well. But, oh my gosh, it got really bright in this shot. I don't know why. But besides that, that's pretty much it for Supreme Leader Snoke. I'm going to go one more three-dimensional, one more like 3D look, or all the way around look. I don't know words anymore. So let's go ahead and show the minifigure, the conclusion, or the whatever I'm trying to say. So we've made it to the conclusion of this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video and all the customs that I made. A lot of headaches were spent, and a lot of time was spent making on these, so I really hope that you enjoyed this. And give it a like if you do. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notifications bell, because that's the kind of person that I am. And also links in the description to my Instagram, Flickr, and as well as Brick Builder Watts' Instagram and Flickr and YouTube will be on the description below. So be sure to go check them out and all his minifigures and whatnot. And I will see you guys later. So bye bye.